in this broadcasting role, Chris, that's what I look for all the time. When a quarterback throws a touchdown pass, I actually watch to see who he goes and celebrates with.
Give me some skin, brother. Shedeur Sanders and Tom Brady have a very open and public relationship. You know, some people call it a bit of a mentor. Some people call it more of a bit of a guidance, right? Somebody that's going to be, you know, in his circle, in his place, but not as, you know, as close as a true mentor. But at the end of the day, it seems that Tom Brady and Shedeur either had a very close relationship or at least had the remnants of it. Now, that kind of changed when people saw that the Raiders passed up on Shedeur almost 5 times before the Browns initially came in and scooped him up. And people are this new interview when Tom Brady speaks about young quarterbacks and what he looks like in young quarterbacks has people thinking, hey, this is the real reason why Tom Brady didn't want to draft Shedeur. But here's the problem. I'm going to immediately debunk this. So let's hear what the GOAT of the NFL has to say about the importance of young quarterbacks.
Because football is the ultimate team sport. And even in this broadcasting role, Chris, that's what I look for all the time. When a quarterback throws a touchdown pass, I actually watch to see who he goes and celebrates with. Because what did I do? I looked for my offensive lineman every time. I went down and celebrated in the end zone with my teammates every time. I wanted everyone to feel like they were part of the success. I told the linemen, we're all running to the end zone and we're celebrating as a team. Because I think that's way more intimidating than a quarterback doing his 6-shooter guns and pointing up in the crowd and doing all that other bullshit that's very self-promotional, but it's not about winning. And I think winning in football is about a team, always a team attitude first.
Absolutely. This is beautiful. Now, does Shedeur point to the crowd? Yeah, he does. I'm sorry, he does. But does Shedeur magically not celebrate with his teammates? Well, I want y'all to watch. Here's Shedeur throwing that dot. You know, the last touchdown we've seen it. Well, not the last one, but one of the last ones we've seen him throw. Where does he immediately go? No. Where does Shedeur immediately go? I'm talking about touchdown is scored. Watch Shedeur. Where does Shedeur go? That boy is scooting to that end zone, trying to show some love to the people, man. And who he supporting? Hey, man, got on the big boys on the receiver. And you know, he did have to let the people know too. He did have to let the people know as well. And ain't nothing wrong with doing both, but you can't say he ain't doing it. And I know what you're saying. Well, that's cherry picked. You just found that. Well, how about I go last season? And I know you said something about offensive lineman. You said something about offensive lineman. Now, this is a 69-yard touchdown. So, I mean, they're pretty far. Y'all know what Jimmy do. He caught it. He took it down North Dakota State, right? Crazy. Now, they shouldn't have been down that long. But look where Shedeur is when the camera hits him. What's he doing? Talking to the offensive lineman. Oh, but you think they just missed it? No. What is he doing? Stopping. Give me some skin, brother. Hey, running back, give me some skin, brother. That's what Shedeur is doing. Shedeur, after throwing a 69-yard touchdown, is what? Looking for his offensive line. Looking for his teammates. Looking for, hey, let me show some love to some people. Right? And look, Tom Brady was not talking about Shedeur. Now, did people try to make it about Shedeur? Yeah, because they don't watch football. They haven't been watching football. They watch snippets. They watch clips that Barstool Sports says of Shedeur, and they think, oh, Shedeur is a bad teammate. Even though all his teammates say positive things about him. Oh, this is the reason why Tom Brady, didn't draft Shedeur. Well, Shedeur has been celebrating with his offensive linemen since back in the day. So who are you talking about? This is the reason why I continue to make Shedeur videos. I don't care if you don't like him as a football player. That's fine. I mean, some people think Lamar Jackson is still a bad football player 2 MVP seasons later, or 3 technically, but 2 MVPs later, people still think Tom Brady is a bad football player. I mean, not Tom Brady. Lamar Jackson's a bad football player. He can't do this. He's that. Just a running back. So your value your opinion doesn't really mean anything. My opinion doesn't mean anything. I told y'all that. That's why I consult the NFL players when I present to you facts, figures, and anything else in between. But this idea that the reason why Shedeur wasn't picked was because of that. No, we told you. We told you what the real reason was, but we ain't gonna go deeper into that. But the reason why Tom Brady doesn't do it because of this. This whole Shedeur is a bad teammate angle, it's never worked because every single time y'all say he's a bad teammate, I continue to show things that show that he's a good teammate, and he's been a good teammate since back in the day. I can have Jimmy Horn pull up and say how much it means something. I can have LeJounte pull up and say. I can have Travis Hunter. I had Cam Ward. We just spoke about it this Friday about Cam Ward speaking about the relationship with Shedeur. Every person with their name on it, and I'm gonna continue to say that, they continue to sing the praises of Shedeur Sanders, and that includes a one Travis Kelce. So what did he just say?
Give the people what they want.
For sure. I mean, listen, what do I want to watch? I want to watch Shedeur Sanders.
Who doesn't want to watch that? The world wants to see him go out there and not only play, but have success. At this point, guys are rooting for him. This isn't anything against Dylan. This isn't anything against Joe. I'm just saying the excitement is there for him to go out there. He's going to put eyes on the screen. He is going to bring people to the game. It is what it is, man. I would love to fucking see it, man. I say all this as a fellow Clevelander, and I hear with the chatter around Cleveland and how everybody just you get Deion's son in the building. He enjoys being in the limelight. He enjoys being on that football field. He's got excitement. He's the showman when he plays. It's just it's so fun to want to root for that. It's fun to imagine what it would look like if they let 12 go out there and shake it, man.
So again, I don't listen to me. Stop listening to me. If you ever take opinions from me, probably wrong because my opinions are pretty bad. But I would say the one of the more consistent things we've been seeing, and nobody wants to talk about this. Everybody wants to talk about, well, he's behind here, yada yada yada. Oh, well, he drifts back in the pocket. You know a part of being a quarterback that everybody seemingly just, nobody really cares. And I'm not saying Dylan Gabriel doesn't do this. Nobody has said Dylan Gabriel is bad in the locker room. But Shedeur Sanders was winning the locker room before he even put the pads on. Y'all, we watched the Browns video. We watched veteran cornerbacks come up to them. We watched Tony Brown be at his beck and call. We watched David Njoku start having a relationship and bring him off to the side. The fifth rounder, right? The QB3, right? Or QB4 at the time, right? He was having people. Guess who was invited to David Njoku's All-Star softball game? Shedeur Sanders. And I'm not saying this means Shedeur is the greatest man and he's the king of the locker room. I'm not saying all that. But man, we sure do leave out that. We sure do leave out the fact that no NFL player seemingly has anything bad to say about him. What's up with that? So Joe Thomas, I want to make sure, and I love me some Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas, Iron Man, one of the greatest players of all time in the NFL. Forget one of the greatest Browns, because he might be the greatest Brown of all time. One of the greatest offensive linemen of all time. But for him to come at the Shedeur Colt, well, make sure you go after the Travis Kelce Shedeur Colt too, because y'all, some people in the comments are like, why do people like Shedeur? Are you serious? I'm sorry, I like being entertained. Can we all be honest, dude? I'm oh my God, I hate how Jesus Christ football is just. And it's not just football, because I watch other stuff. I watch F1, basketball. My God, can people just say, yo, it's entertaining when Shedeur's on the field. I like Dylan Gabriel. I think he's a nice guy. Is he entertaining? No. Some people are production staff. You're just as a partner of the team. Some people are offensive linemen. You're so important. You're a core aspect. Ain't nobody giving offensive lineman post game. You know what I'm saying? This is sports entertaining. I'm so tired of people being like, well, I just want it to be about X's and O's. Man, it's never just been about X's and O's. Ask Jerry Jones. Why do you think that motherfucker who throws the ball super far from Tennessee, Mr. Joe Milton, is still on that team? You think he's going to play quarterback in the NFL? No! But you know how entertaining it is to watch Joe Milton throw a fucking football? It's great. It's amazing. It's awesome. He throws rockets out there. Shout out to Joe Milton for staying on a team because of vibes and arm talent. Love it. But yeah, man, I sometimes, even though I've got down here and we've looked at stats, I've showed you, hey, he's throwing for the yards, he's FBS record, Johnny Unitas. Like, it gets boring saying all the accolades that Shedeur has because he has so many of them. Over 100 records broken at Colorado. So I'm tired of saying that. Can I just say I just want to stick my wrist in it? Okay, is that okay? Is that okay for me to say? Is that okay for an NFL player to say? Because all the NFL players continue to say that. Now, what do Debo and Joe Hayden have to say about it, though?
And I know that Joe T is in Cleveland. He's out there. He's amongst the people. So he knows the pulse a little bit. And for me, I think it's more of the managers, the general manager, the owners and things trying to just chill the noise. When Shedeur did his last preseason game and they had the third stringers, fourth stringers out there, I didn't feel like that was a good position to put him in to win. And then when they had the fourth quarter drive with one possession left and they took him out and put Huntley in, I don't think they did not want him to drive that ball down there and get a touchdown just because it's just too much noise for the Browns to handle right now.
To be fifth, I think that was a little low. Travis, you should go and buy the Browns. And let the fans make the decisions of who is going to play and who's going to start.
You talking to me? I want Shedeur Sanders out that joint for real, starting.
Okay. Again, now you do not have to trust me. You don't have to trust what I say. But the NFL players continue to say that, hey, the entertainment factor, the city factor, y'all saw that, hey, and this is no hate towards Dylan Gabriel. But I want to stress this too, because, people are getting joy out of calling out Shedeur fans and saying they're so delusional and saying this and that. And why would we like somebody? How many Browns players after that fire in the local Cleveland community went to that community? And clearly y'all forgot about it because, you can't say it was about publicity because nobody talked about it. My man Daniel was there, Browns reporter, we follow on Twitter. My man Daniel was there actually videoing Shedeur, giving back to the community out of his own pocket. Free food, things. And we got deeper into that story, and it was really messed up because what it really was residents of this local Cleveland area apartment saying, hey, we smell gas, we smell gas, we smell gas. And it ends up being, we'll push it off. We'll come service you eventually. Weeks of this until a giant, a tragic accident that nobody could saw coming, and an explosion happens, and a giant fire happens. No, they ignored a predominantly black, unwealthy, impoverished community in Ohio. They ignored them. They didn't want to give the resources that they asked for. When they asked nicely, went through smelling gas. And after their apartments were exploded on fire because of an accident that the people who were supposed to be providing them with shelter and maintenance couldn't even check it out. People are displaced. People have no homes. People have nowhere to eat, stay, pray. To think, to shit, like what? Guess where Shedeur Sanders was? 5th round draft pick. This is before the preseason. It's only when people were saying, hey, man, he's a bum. During that time. After being told that he's a 5th rounder because he's bad, he's this, he's entitled, all of these things. Guess which player, which quarterback was out there? So when you ask me, why am I a Shedeur Sanders fan? Because this young man has given back to schools, to communities other Browns players don't want to do and don't want to spend time and shed light on, right? He's doing humanitarian things. So yeah, I'm a fan of Shedeur. I'll tell you if he's playing bad. Y'all got mad at me for saying that he played bad, as well as the Browns setting him up for failure. Two things can happen at the same time. But is it crazy to think that Shedeur's an entertainer? Is it crazy to be a fan of Shedeur and see the positive that he does, to see the way he uplifts other people and be disgusted by why these white media members are so happy calling him in, so waiting on him to come in with a boombox and an NFL player next to him so they can call him his entourage, waiting so he has a bad game so they can say, see, and that's why you fell to the 5th round. Hey, can't wait to excuse what Dylan Gabriel goes through to make sure we focus on the one good game Dylan Gabriel had, not the pick and the other terrible fumble. Let's excuse Arch Manning because he's a generational talent and it's just the offensive coordinator. But don't you Shedeur fans dare bring up with NFL player Joe Hayden, former Browns player, right? Just brought up the fact that, hey, probably wasn't given the best odds in that situation. Now, I also say he didn't, capitalize on that small opportunity. But yeah, I'm a Shedeur fan. I'm sorry. I don't like when people take joy out of somebody who gives back to the community that other people on that roster refuse to. That other reporters, Tony Grossi, when Daniel was out there, and I know why you weren't out there, Tony Grossi. Because Daniel looks like the people that are being affected. Tony, you probably had no idea that was happening. I'm not letting that go. So some of y'all might have beefs with Tony Grossi because he's silly as a Browns fan. As a non-Browns fan, as a Texans fan that is Shedeur and learning about what's going on, that shit disgusts me. It disgusts me that you could speak about somebody like that. And my man Daniel, who's been fair the entire time, I can tell because Daniel criticizes Shedeur too. Daniel pulls up the PFF facts too, but he also says, hey, but you better not forget what Shedeur has done as a human. I'm not going to talk to him like he's not a child of God. I will talk to him like if he has a bad game though. But hey, we know what it is. This is another instance of that, right? Oh, well, we see why Tom Brady doesn't want Shedeur. What do you mean? You mean the same Tom Brady that said this?
Elephant
right
in the room,
after
Shedeur Sanders. What happened, Tom? Why did he go so late in the draft?
I mean, it's a good question. I wasn't a part of any evaluation process or
Skip Bayless says
that.
otherwise.
No. Well, everyone's got that's the problem with media is everyone can just say whatever the fuck they want. I actually texted Shedeur because I know him very well. And I said, dude, like whatever happens, wherever you go, like that's your first day. Day 2 matters more than the draft. I was 199.
Yeah.
So who could speak on it better than me? Like what that really means. Use it as motivation. You're going to get your chances. Go take advantage of it.
So again, long-standing. I mean, this was back in the day, him working with Tom Brady. This is back in 2023 after the TCU game. There's Mr. Tommy. God dang, that's good. All right, chill out, Tom. Chill out, Tom. But what I'm saying is, in the same way that some people, Shedeur's name is so easily manipulated and he's so charged that people can do things like this and get 50,000 likes, right? And people will just believe it. People will just believe that, oh yeah, Shedeur doesn't celebrate with his teammates, even though I just showed you. This took me 15 seconds. I just looked up Shedeur touchdown. Those are the first 2 that came up. I was like, oh, well, here you go. Here he is celebrating with his team. Here he is celebrating. But again, they want Shedeur to be something he's not. They want him to be a thug. They want him to be mean. They want him to be arrogant. They want him to be a Nepo baby. Sorry about it. He's somebody who gives back to Cleveland communities while other people just report on it. But all right, you enjoy the rest of your day. Like the video if you like it. Dislike if you don't. Subscribe if you like football content. We'll see you next time.